Arvind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai.
Jai.
Das Thakur ki jai.
Jai.
Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrind ki jai. Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyam Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ki jai. ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। गंगा माई की जय। यमुना माई की जय। तुलसी महारानी की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। सामवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि। All glories to assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
To assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Glories to assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 14, The Disappearance of Lord Krishna. Text 2. Vyatitaha katichinmasas tada nayat tatorjunaha dadarsha ghora rupani nimittani kurudvaha. Vyatitaha katichinmasas tada nayat tatorjunaha dadarsha ghora rupani nimittani kurudvaha. Vyatitaha katichinmasas tada nayat tatorjunaha dadarsha ghora rupani nimittani kurudvaha. Please chant.
Vyatita katichinmasas tada naya tatojuna dadarsha ghora rupani nimittani kurudvaha.
Hare Krishna. Vyatita ha kati chinmas tada naya tato junaha dadarsha gora rupani nimittani kurudvaha. Hare Krishna.
Anyone else?
Vyatita kati chinmasas tada naya tatorjuna tadarsha ghora rupani nimittani kurudvaha.
Hare Krishna.
Go ahead.
Vyatita kati chinmasas tada naya tato hajunaha dadarsha gora rupani nimittani kurudvaha.
Vyatita
Katichin
katichin
masas tada nayat tato arjuna nadarsa ghora rupani nimittani kurudvaha.
Word-to-word translation. Vyatitaha, after passing. Katichit, a few. Masaha, months. Tada, at that time. Na ayat, did not return. Tataha, from there. Arjunaha, Arjuna. Dadarsha, observed. Ghora, fearful. Rupani, appearances. Nimittani, various causes. Kuru Udvaha, Maharaj Yudhishthir. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. A few months passed and Arjun did not return. Maharaj Yudhishthir then began to observe some inauspicious omens, which were fearful in themselves. Purport. Lord Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is ad infinitum, more powerful than the most powerful sun of our experience. Millions and billions of suns are created by him and annihilated by him within his one breathing period. In the material world, the sun is considered to be the source of all productivity and material energy. And only due to the sun can we have the necessities of life. Therefore, during the personal presence of the Lord on the earth, all paraphernalia for our peace and prosperity, especially religion and knowledge, were in full display. Because of the Lord's presence, I'll read that again. Therefore, during the personal presence of the Lord on the earth, all paraphernalia for our peace and prosperity, especially religion and knowledge, were in full display because of the Lord's presence. Just as there is a full flood of light in the presence of the glowing sun. Maharaj Yudhishthir observed some discrepancies in his kingdom, and therefore he became very anxious about Arjun, who was long absent, and there was also no news about Dwaraka's well-being. He suspected the disappearance of Lord Krishna. Otherwise, there would have been no possibility of fearful omens. Om Ajnanatirmirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Nagajata Ganaraghanvitam Tam Sajivam Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Vyatitaha katichin masas tada nayat tatorjunaha Dadarsha ghora rupani nimittani kurudvaha. A few months passed and Arjun did not return. Maharaj Yudhishthir then began to observe some inauspicious omens, which were fearful in themselves. So, we saw, this is a new chapter. This chapter is entitled The Disappearance of Lord Krishna. So, in the last chapter we saw, in chapter 13, Narad Muni had appeared and informed Yudhishthir Maharaj that you know that the Lord appears for specific, yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamiham paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Krishna appears in this material world. And of course, Krishna has his reason. He comes especially to reciprocate with the love of his devotees. But while he is here, he is also taking care of annihilating the demons, re-establishing religious principles. So Krishna had installed Maharaj Yudhishthir as the emperor. So now once again, religion was in good hands. So Krishna established Dharma and a caretaker, Yudhishthir Maharaj. So actually Krishna's, his work was done. Now Krishna was going back. But Narad Muni said, there is one more thing that, Krishna is waiting for. So he has already, what is the exact statement there? The Lord has already performed his duties to help the demigods. So the demigods are the administrators of this universe. They make sure things are carried out according to Krishna's law and order. And whenever there's any discrepancy, when there is an increase in the number of asuras, then Krishna comes. Either Krishna comes himself, or he may send his representative, or an incarnation, right? An expansion can come to restore things to their normal condition. So Narad Muni told Yudhishthir Maharaj that the Lord has already performed his duties to help the demigods, and he is awaiting the rest. So what is the rest? That he didn't reveal. So we also saw that Narad Muni did not disclose the imminent annihilation of the Yadu dynasty, but indirectly gave a hint to the king and his brothers to wait till the incident happened and the Lord departed. Actually, it had already taken place. When Vidura went on pilgrimage, he came to Prabhasa on his pilgrimage. This is even before he met Maitreya Muni. There he met Uddhava, and Uddhava narrated to him about the departure, annihilation of the Yadu dynasty, and also the departure of Lord Krishna. From there, Vidura went to meet Maitreya Muni, and after talking to Maitreya Muni, now he has come back to Hastinapur. Still, Vidura did not disclose of this incident yet. Arjun had left for Dwarka. So Arjun would go to Dwarka from time to time. Because Srila Prabhupada says, in yesterday's verse we saw, text 1 in the purport, Prabhupada says that Arjun was an eternal companion of the Lord. The Pandavas and especially Arjun were eternal companions of the Lord. So therefore Arjun would go to Dwaraka from time to time to see Krishna. So he also went to see Krishna to find out about what was the next program of work, what was his next project, right? But usually, I heard in a lecture that Arjun would go and he wouldn't stay there for too long. He would come back. But this time, Arjun went for several months. And even if he stayed longer, there would be some news from Dwaraka. Some messengers would be coming back and forth with some news. This has happened or that has happened. But for all these months, Yudhishthir Maharaj is not getting any news from Dwaraka. No news what's going on. And no news from Arjun when he is going to come back, if everything is okay or not. So now, one thing is Arjun didn't come back. And Yudhishthir Maharaj is seeing inauspicious omens. What are these inauspicious omens? That we will read in the following verses, coming verses. Many inauspicious omens. They were very fearful in themselves. Why it is so stark? Why is it so clearly visible? How was the world like in Yudhishthir Maharaj's rule? We read a few chapters before. In Yudhishthir Maharaj's reign, the clouds showered all the water that the people needed. The earth produced all the necessities of man in profusion. Due to the fatty milk bag, right? The cows were always cheerful. And there was so much milk that they would moisten the ground. Even without milking, the cows would just let down their milk, and the pasturing grounds, the soil would be muddy with milk. The rivers, oceans, hills, mountains, forests, creepers, everything was producing their particular quota, right? They were offering their quota to the king in profusion. In fact, Yudhishthir Maharaj's kingdom is compared to Lord Ramchandra's kingdom, Ramaraja. So, also there were no diseases. There were no mental agonies. There was no excessive heat or cold even. Nobody would die untimely. So, this was Yudhishthir Maharaj's kingdom. And now what is he seeing? I'll just read a couple of translations, so we will have an idea what are these, inauspicious omens. He saw that the direction of time had changed. That means things were happening. For example, one example, father dies in the presence of the son. That is normal course of action. But if a young son is dying in the presence of the father, that is, against the direction of time. So things like that were happening, which was not normal in Yudhishthir Maharaj's kingdom. There were disruptions in seasonal regularities, right? In rainy season, it is supposed to rain. In winter season, it's supposed to be cold. What if it becomes really hot in the winter season? That's a disruption. People were becoming greedy, angry, and deceitful. They were also adopting foul means of livelihood, especially the qualities of the people. What are they? Nowadays, it's normal. But during Yudhishthir Maharaj's kingdom, it was not normal. Yudhishthir Maharaj's kingdom, There was nothing was lacking. Everyone was completely satisfied. But now people were greedy, they were angry. These are actually symptoms of Kali. These are symptoms of Kali. There are others also, many other symptoms that we will see in the following verses. So seeing these bad omens, now Yudhishthira Maharaj is an intelligent king. He's the emperor of the whole universe, whole world. He didn't become the emperor just like that. He was qualified. So he could understand. He could understand why these discrepancies are happening. Generally, we hear of these bad omens when we read when Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, when they were taking birth. There was, the clouds were raining blood, right? Jackals were howling. When Duryodhan took birth, same thing. Jackals were howling. There were fierce winds. These are all bad omens. Why would there be bad omens in Yudhishthira Maharaj's kingdom? He is a devotee. Why is he seeing these omens now? There are no enemies. All enemies were destroyed. All the demons were killed. There can be only one reason. Narad Muni already told me that Lord Krishna has already, taken care of his, the work that he has come to do. He has finished that. He's just waiting for the remaining. Krishna must have left. That's why these bad omens. This was Yudhishthira Maharaj's yes. He could understand, right? So, but now he's just seeing these fearful omens. So, Srila Prabhupada is explaining, why are there fearful omens in the absence of Krishna? That's what we should try to understand here in this particular verse. Why there are fearful omens when Krishna disappears? Prabhupada is saying Krishna is ad infinitum more powerful than the most powerful sun of our experience. Yes, the sun is the most powerful in our experience. We study about the primary food chain and secondary food chain. All food chains begin with the sun. If there is no sun, there is no food, there is no productivity. That's just one aspect, right? We won't have any food. Without food, nobody can live. Imagine if the sun didn't rise at all one day. What will be the fate of this world? And what if the sun would never ever rise? Then what? If this is the power of the sun, try to understand who is Krishna. Millions and billions of suns are created by him and annihilated in his one breath. This material creation begins when Lord Karanodakashayi Vishnu glances on material nature. When he exhales, when Karanodakashayi Vishnu is exhaling, unlimited number of universes are springing out from his skin pores. And when he inhales, these universes that were created, they go through a whole life cycle of that universe. Lord Brahma is born, Lord Brahma lives for his 100 years. So many incarnations appear, perform their, leelas. And again, the whole universe is annihilated and going back into the body of Mahavishnu or Karanodakashayi Vishnu in one breath. In one inhalation and exhalation, there is creation of unlimited number of universes and their annihilation. This is Mahavishnu. And this Mahavishnu is only an amsha, a fragmental portion of Swayam Bhagavan Krishna. Krishna, not even amsha actually, kala. Amsha means Krishna's part. A part of Krishna's part is called kala. So, Karanodakashayi Vishnu is a kala. And Karanodakashayi Vishnu creates billions of universes and annihilates them in his one breath. So if one sun has so much capacity, imagine when Krishna, Swayam Bhagavan, comes down, what should be the condition of that place? So Prabhupada is saying in the material world, the sun is considered to be the source of all productivity and material energy, and only due to the sun can we have the necessities of life. Therefore, during the presence of the Lord on the earth, all paraphernalia for our peace and prosperity, especially religion and knowledge, were in full display because of the Lord's presence. So generally we think prosperity means having abundant material needs, right? We have enough food, enough clothing, and that's there, shelter. But all the, dharma, artha, kama, yes? So opulence and abundance is artha. Where does all this artha come? Where there is dharma. So in the presence of Krishna, there is abundance of dharma and knowledge. How to perform dharma, how will you know? You need knowledge. So there is, in the presence of Krishna, there is no dearth of dharma and knowledge. And that is what is lacking now in today's world. We are lacking in dharma, and where there is no dharma, obviously, artha, kama, and moksha, they will all be defeated also. But in Krishna's presence, all paraphernalia for peace and prosperity were present. They were in full display, maximum. And again, the comparison is when there is sun, there is a full flood of light. You don't need any electricity. You don't need anything else to illuminate the place when there is sunlight. So when Krishna was present, that was the condition. Now, let's see some analogies. Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjun, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. This is my opinion. Sanjay says in the last verse of Bhagavad Gita, Yatra Yogeshwarah Krishno, Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha, Tatra Shrir Vijayo Bhutir, Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. In the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Krishna was personally present with Arjun on his chariot. And single-handedly, Arjun was able to annihilate an ocean of soldiers because Krishna was with him. And when the same Krishna left him, when Krishna was not with him, so of course now we are going in the future, Arjun was not even able to fight with a group of cowherd men who were fighting with sticks. Arjun still had his Gandiva bow, but he was not even able to fight with a group of cowherd men with sticks in their hands in order to protect the ladies, the queens of Dwarka. So Krishna says, I am the ability in man. So when Krishna is when Krishna is present, we are able to perform to our full capacity. In fact, even beyond our capacity, we can function when there is Krishna. And in the absence of Krishna, even the most, powerful and a successful person will become helpless. In Mahabharata, after the battle, right? After the battle of Kurukshetra, after Bhimsen, there was a duel between Bhima and Duryodhan. And when Duryodhan's thigh was broken, he fell down. So it was considered that the battle was over now. The battle was won. So that night, the Pandavas went to spend the night. That is the system, right? The winner spends the night in the enemy's camp. So they went to the enemy's camp, the Kauravas' camp. Krishna was still driving the chariot and Arjun was riding. So when they reached the camp, Arjun was about to climb down from his chariot to sleep there that night. And Krishna said, Partha, take the Gandiva and your 2 quivers. I will get down after you. So Arjun looked curiously at Krishna. But still, because Krishna said, he did as Krishna said, right? He just got on the chariot and he took his Gandiva and got down. After he did that, Krishna jumped clear of the chariot. At that moment, as Krishna got down from the chariot, Arjun's flag is called Kapidhwaja. Hanuman is on the flag. Hanumanji left the banner and vanished. Hanuman is not on the banner anymore as soon as Krishna jumped. As he did so, the chariot suddenly caught fire without any apparent cause. In a matter of seconds, moments, the whole chariot was in a pile of ashes. So all the Pandavas had gone there together. They were, of course, on their chariots. So when they saw this, they gazed in amazement at the charred and smoldering remains. Arjuna asked Krishna what had happened. And Krishna replied, the chariot was struck by the most powerful celestial weapons. Only because of my presence was it not previously incinerated. It was not burnt. So when celestial weapons are used, even the chariot would be destroyed. But because of Krishna's presence, the chariot withstood. It was not burnt. So Arjun looked, I'm sorry. Yeah, so the next part is like, they had loving exchanges between Krishna and the Pandavas, right? Krishna said, previously this Dhananjaya greeted me when I came to Virata, offering me worship and love. He said, oh Keshava, you are my brother and friend. Indeed, you are the Lord of my life. Therefore, you should always protect me. So Krishna is saying, I responded, so be it. And therefore, I have kept my word. I have protected Partha. So when the Pandavas heard this from Krishna, tears fell from their eyes. And Yudhishthir Maharaj replied to Krishna in a choked voice, surely we owe our lives, wealth and kingdom to you, O Janardhan. Everything is due only to your favor. Who but you could have withstood the weapons of Bhishma, Drona and Karna? Only because of your protection was Arjun able to defeat so many invincible heroes. The great Rishi Vyasadeva told me that wherever you are, there will always be righteousness and victory. So Yudhishthir Maharaj and all the Pandavas, at every step, they were conscious, they were aware, they were seeing, witnessing the consequence of Krishna's personal presence. So it was not difficult for Yudhishthir Maharaj, although he didn't want to think the thought that Krishna has disappeared, but the omens were all very obvious, indicating to the fact. Kunti Maharani also prayed. We saw in the 8th chapter of this first canto. When Krishna was about to leave, Kunti Maharani is offering her prayers. And she said, as the name and fame of a particular body is finished, with the disappearance of the living spirit, similarly, if you do not look upon us, all our fame and activities along with the Pandavas and Yadus will end at once. Our kingdom is now being marked by the impressions of your lotus feet, and therefore it appears beautiful. But when you leave, it will no longer be so. All these cities and villages are flourishing in all respects because the herbs and grains are in abundance, the trees are full of fruits, the rivers are flowing, the hills are full of minerals and oceans full of wealth. But this is all due to your glancing over them. Simply Krishna's presence, Krishna's being on this earth was causing everything to flourish. So now when such, reverse situations, reverse omens were observed, there was only one conclusion was possible. Krishna must have left. So for us, also in Chaitanya Charitamrita we read, Krishna Surya Sama Maya hoy andhakar, jaha Krishna taha nahi mayar adhikar. Krishna is like sun, Maya is like darkness. Where there is Krishna, darkness has no adhikar. Darkness has no place there. So wherever there is Krishna consciousness, there cannot be Maya. If Krishna is present, and where is Krishna present? Krishna says, Tatra tishtami narada yatra gayanti mad bhakta. Yes? Wherever my devotees are singing my glories, there I am present. I am not present in Vaikuntha, I am not present here or there. I am only present in that place where my devotees are always singing my glories. So, also, once I had quoted this, Srila Prabhupada said in Mayapur temple, everyone comes there. Everybody heard, this is like in the initial days. Initial days means in the 70s, and after the Mayapur temple was built. Everyone is asking about the Sahib Mandir, right? The Western temple. And all the people are coming from far and wide. Srila Prabhupada said, they are coming here for Krishna. Now it is your responsibility to keep Krishna here. And Krishna will stay here if you chant Krishna's names. If you continue chanting, worshipping Krishna nicely, opulently, take care of him. Serve him. What will we take care of him? Serve him. Then everything will come. All success, all opulence, everything will come. You just have to take care to keep Krishna here. And Krishna will stay where his pure devotees are chanting his glories constantly. And if things are not going properly, if we are experiencing some scarcity, then we should understand where is the problem, right? Or where we have to put our energy. So as it is also said, Kali, right? These symptoms, greed, etc., they're all symptoms of Kali. So right after Krishna's disappearance, Kali Yuga started, right? So the symptoms of Kali. So as soon as we forget Krishna, or as soon as we become slackened in our Krishna consciousness, Krishna conscious practices, immediately we will be overtaken by Kali. Anger, greed, lust, so on and so forth. So Maya and Krishna are both there, side by side. As long as we are holding on to Krishna, looking at Krishna, Maya has no power there. She's totally, like a serpent whose fangs are broken. It's not dangerous anymore. You can stay in her kingdom and she cannot do anything to you. But as soon as Krishna leaves, why will Krishna leave? If we are not Krishna conscious, then what business Krishna has there? Right? Krishna only deals with his devotees. So when we are not Krishna conscious, then immediately we become victims of Maya. So Yudhishthir Maharaj is in anxiety now. And in the following verses, we will see what are the inauspicious omens that he saw. I will stop there. Is there any questions or discussions, comments?
Anybody has any questions or realizations, please just unmute yourself and go ahead. You explained very nicely the mood Yudhishthir Maharaj is in. You can feel his sadness, his desperation. But also in saying that Krishna is there, I mean, we are in the middle of Kali Yuga. We are definitely not in a good time frame, but because we are in the association of each other here, just feeling that Krishna is here because we are all talking about him and glorifying him, it is such a reassuring and again, like you said, you can live in the kingdom of Maya and still feel safe, still feel confident, still feel happy. And that is, where we are. At least that is how I am feeling this morning, being able to come. And again, that is also, and I'm always remembering Damodar Leela, the desire for me to be here is there, but that I'm able to be here. That is his mercy.
Absolutely. Yes,
and so grateful for that. So grateful that we have this ability to be in this association. But if we didn't have this, I guess we would be feeling like Yudhishthir Maharaj. At least he knew why he was desperate. He knew because if Krishna is not there, Kunti Maharani knew that if you leave, we will be desperate. Most of us don't even realize that when we are desperate. Why me? Why me? Why is this happening to me? We don't realize this is happening to me because we are not holding on to Krishna. That is why it is happening.
Yes.
So we have even realized that. So anybody else, please just go ahead and
Mataji, Vindhyavali Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, thank you very much. Very nice chapter, this one. And very nice text you did. As we know, this Kali Yuga is just started. It's not even middle. So sometimes I think, what happens if it is in middle or ending Kali Yuga? Means at the middle, how much dangers will come? To imagine that itself is scary.
Yeah.
But like Sobharada Mata said, because we are in good association, because it's the beginning of Kali Yuga. So we still have that other Yuga, what we have, and we are listening, we are remembering that. And I don't know, when we come to middle, anybody remembers this?
Yeah.
It's very scary.
It is actually.
Very scary.
Yeah, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that this place is this place is no good for a gentleman, right? This is not a place for a gentleman. You should try to get out of here as soon as possible. Srila Prabhupada also said, don't wait for another lifetime. Finish your business in this lifetime. Just become serious in one shot. Just finish your business in this lifetime. Yeah, things will only be for the next 10,000 years means we've already passed some years of that. Since Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for 10,000 years, this Hare Krishna movement will flourish. But after that, it's only going to be only gloom and darkness, and everything is only going to go down. There'll be like...
Sometimes I think, I don't know, see, I may go in other planets or something, but I may come back here. That thinking itself is very scary for me.
Yeah.
When Kali Yuga itself is there, I might come back again.
Yeah.
So that is very scary. But one thing, we are having very good association right now and listening to Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita all day. I'm keeping busy with these things.
Yes.
So that makes me happy.
Yes, Mataji.
But after a little while, I don't know, I cannot even imagine our grandkids and great grandkids and what they go through and how it will be. And we have to train them that just remember Krishna and just chant.
Yes, Mataji. Absolutely.
That's what I always think. Thank you very much for nice class.
Thank you. Thank you for your association. Anything else? If not, we can end the class here. Thank you all so much for your association. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Amaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrind ki jai.
Jai.
Vancha Kalpatar.
Yasya kripa sindhobhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vishnave.
Thank you all. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Mataji.